Hi. Well, now that I've reacted to all Eurovision songs, um, this is being recorded right after the reaction to the Spanish music video, which apparently is the version that will be in Eurovision. So if there are any videos after that one, then obviously the opinion from those videos will not be included in this tier list simply because I am not aware of any other modifications to versions or whatever that will be done, right? Um, but with the information that I have up to this point in time is the information with which I'll be making this tier list. Now, this will be one of partially scripted videos, given that I would not remember 36 songs perfectly, right? And in some cases, I probably would not want to remember them, but we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, let's see how that goes and how things square out. And the background music will be random, no copyright sounds. I hope this will be okay volumes. Anyway, with that said, let's get to the tier list. So, the one song that I will tier at the very end will be Latvia, if I'll tier it at all. Given that I'm from Latvia, I am biased, I recognize that. I will give my reasonings, but it is not officially part of the tier list or a comparison to, not including comparisons with any other. Now, I've grouped all the songs in separate like groups, baskets by sort of somewhere between types, styles, ideas behind the songs or performances or whatever I'm noticed, right? And so that I could more directly compare them because obviously an epic sort of song is not really as easily comparable as, let's say, a vibes song, right? Or a WTF type of song. So, right? Anyhow, let's start from the beginning. First off, Albania. The problem with Albanian song, I have exactly one major problem. The problem is it lasts for a while. It is the male part of the song. The part where the male is singing does not add anything to the song, and that is what annoys me a lot. Other than that, it is very okay song. It could be in A tier easily, but because of that, it is in about somewhere between end of B tier, start of C tier, especially given who it is competing against, which in this case is Greece and Poland. And so, because of the male part, I'm sorry, this ends up in C tier, I think. Sorry, outcompeted. Simple as that. Next, Armenia. Um, One thing that plays in Armenian favor is that I like the style of the song, right? But it is slightly outcompeted by one other song in the same group. And despite that, it is a fairly good song. It's just not the best out of that group, and that's what brings it down to an A tier. Sorry, I'm also doing this on stream, so I will get random notifications. Sorry for that. Next, Australia is one of the group. I will not bother with it for too long. Let me put it this way. The way I've literally written this down, I'll quote it. On what drugs were they when they voted this in? I don't want to just never hear it again. I want to unhear it for the times that I listen to it. And later comments that I had was something along the lines of, I want to. I guess I don't want to forget that I ever heard it because that would make me re listen to it. But I want to forget about it everything other than the fact that I ever heard it. I can't, like, this is the worst by far. And If there was a reason to ever kick out Australia from the competition other than it not being in Europe, this song might be one. I absolutely hated it in every single aspect of it. Next, Austria. Long story short, it is an okay song, nothing wrong about it, but that's about it. It's an okay song. And that's why it's fully deserving of B tier, but that's about it. Right? Okay. Next, Azerbaijan. This one is in a different group, but in an overcrowded group of standard pop songs. And that is what brings it down. Is there's nothing really wrong with it, but there's nothing particularly good about it either. And as such, it just goes in a standard C tier. Belgium. Um, I struggle to find anything positive about that song, about it visually, about the vocals, about the idea behind, about anything. I didn't manage to find anything about it that would be positive. That is an F tier song. Not as F tier as Australia, like that probably should be like a Z tier, like a whole another thing down. But given the tiers, this is where it's placed. Having Australia in F tier is a disservice to the F tier. Yes, exactly. Then Croatia. Croatia is a mess of about 5 different songs for some reason put into one that do not mesh well at all, and that if there was an idea, I lost it in translation. Well, there are times when you overcrowd the song, but you can do it sometimes. In rare case, successful like Cyprus, I think, did it 2 years ago. But not the case here. And as such, this is only a D tier song for me. Next, Cyprus. Um, Cyprus is one of the more interesting pop songs in the pop category, which has a lot of songs in it, but also one thing that helps it a lot is that overall the level of Eurovision songs this year is lower than the past few years. And as a result of this does bring it a tier higher, and therefore it gets into a decent B tier. Next, Czechia. Is very close to Cyprus, in my opinion, in many ways. Um, the problem with this one is this is a little bit more risky. The staging will play a crucial part in the success of this performance, and so the staging can, in theory, if done perfectly well, bring it to A tier. For the song, it is a strong B tier, but still a B tier. Next, Denmark. I think this is one of the most interesting pop songs. It is the second strongest pop song, in my opinion, this year, and as such, it is a good A tier song. We'll get to the strongest tier, the strongest song in this tier. The problem here is the competition that it will be against. Nothing against this song. There is only one other song in the pure pop category that is in the same tier. So, but very good job by Denmark. Very, very good. I can spoil it. It is in the top 9 of my in my evaluation. Estonia. Estonia is just a joke gone wrong, or like I think it was meant as a joke, as sarcasm, as something like that. But it just, with me, it just didn't land. It was just dumb. I understand Estonians, you're our northern neighbors. As Latvian, hate to do this, but you are an F tier song this year. I have no idea why the hell did you decide to go with this. It is a very huge disappointment to me. Finland. Um, there is nothing particularly good about it. It's not as atrocious as F tier songs, but there's nothing particularly good about it other than this fact. It is a weird mix that disappoints me very much after the good songs in the previous years. As such, it barely misses out on F tier, but it is only a D tier song to me. Next, France. France is a nice, beautiful sort of song, more into the epic direction, but not pure epic direction, right? Its main competition, in my opinion, is Montenegro, and I do think France is outcompeted by Montenegro. Very important will be staging here, given that a lot of epicness in that video comes from the context in which it is performed. With proper staging, it can go up to A tier. For the time being, it is a B tier song. Next, Georgia. Georgia is a fair song, but it is in the beautiful song category, and there are a lot of beautiful songs this year that are of good quality. As such, it simply gets outcompeted by them, and that's the only reason why it lands in the C tier. Germany. Germany is... How do I describe it? It's an okay standard song, but it needs some wow moment, right? This eclipse, right? This whole the 15-second moment is desperately needed, and the one time they attempt it, it doesn't land. It lands not as this big moment, this smashing of with using the instrument. It seems to attempt to be this epic moment, but it lands as really, really cringe and disappointing as a result. And therefore, it is a C tier. Greece. Greece goes in pure epic category and is in one of the better performers of it. And as such, a very beautiful song. But given the competition, it gives it only a B tier. Next, Iceland, one of those that lands in the fun vibes category, but outcompeted by, I suspect you know which song if you've heard my reactions. Then, Ireland. Ireland is in the sort of weirdo category that I had to split out at the end. Or in the sort of old schoolish category. It does it well, but it's nice for vibes. It's catching up. It will be very interesting in how it will be staged. Staging can do a lot for this song, but it can also dampen the song. Sorry, regarding the old school, I mixed it up with the Ukrainian one. But the point still stands. Staging does a lot for this, if done properly, but it has to be done well. That is very important. Israel, one of the songs in the beautiful category. The problem with this is it does become interesting for a short moment, but only for a short moment and far too late. I think for a lot of people, they will have lost that watching just at TV screens. They will have lost their attention by the time that it gets to the interesting part, and the shortness of it simply doesn't make it pay off. Going if it went into epicness direction, I think it would have landed much better, but as such, it lands only in B tier. Italy. The other song in the weirdo category that was a huge disappointment to I will quote what I've written here. Simply a WTF. Looks, song, everything. Nothing matches and nothing ever turns interesting. I couldn't have said it live better myself. And that is why it lands it in D tier. Lithuania. Armenia, sorry. Lithuania is the song that directly outcompetes you. It is in the heavy basket was the heavy direction basket, and Lithuania is one of my favorites this year, with heavily helped obviously by the fact that it is very close to my style of songs, and with a good performance and good staging. I hope it and pray that it does very well. It is one of the rare songs in the S tier for me. We'll talk about that at the end. Luxembourg. Um, Luxembourg is an already crowded standard pop song field, a very meh kind of song, and as such, it gets outcompeted simply by that many songs that it even is barely in C tier. It could very easily go to D tier. But it doesn't do anything wrong enough to merit it getting into D tier, and still outcompetes other songs in the same group. Next, Malta. The story with Malta is that this song, I guess, will have a certain audience, but I feel like every time you try to make a song political, which this sort of seemed to appear to be attempt at, you will lose the audience of anyone who disagrees with you politically. This is the case here, and therefore, this audience is the opposite of me, and therefore I see nothing positive about this song. I guess if there are some far liberals, they may enjoy it, but to me it is. I don't like. Okay, she has a voice, but if everything else is wrong, the idea of the song, the music of the song, the style of half of the song, everything visually, I'm sorry, voice simply cannot redeem it. It simply cannot pull enough. Next, Montenegro. One of the epic type of songs that I think this one is one of the. This is sort of a mix of somewhere between pop and epic, sort of more. More than Albania. Albania went more electric, but not necessarily pop. This one is more into. I found the more lighter version of epic, which is fine. It does what it wants to do well, and for that, it does get into the A tier. Next, Netherlands. Netherlands not atrocious, right? But there is nothing special about it, nothing notable. It is way too boring, and it is not, the other song not helped by the music video, which does like the message is good, but the music video makes the message appear way more political than it needs to be. If it went the neutral direction, it would be great, awesome, let's go. But the video is what brings it down, and as such, it only lands itself in D tier. I guess somewhere over here. Then Norway. Norway is Norway seems like a very standard song, very standard in pop tier that simply gets outcompeted by better songs. It's not bad, it's not good, it's simply not the best of the type. Next, Poland. Poland is again one of the epic type of songs with a very good staging and most epic delivery of the bunch, and as such gets easily into the A tier. Portugal. Portugal is a song that belongs to another age or another competition, and appears to be simply too boring for this competition, or without bringing anything to compensate for it, and as such, it gets into the D tier. Next, San Marino. San Marino appears to be a song that tries to go for fun vibes but fails miserably, leaving me with looking at the title, and that's the one thing that I allowed myself to translate. The title translating to apparently all of Italy, given that San Marino is a separate country, leaving me with just one question: WTF? And as such, is put into a D tier. Next, Serbia. Serbia is a nice, beautiful ballad mixed with a good amount of appropriate epicness and beautiful message, but simply it is simply outcompeted by Slovenia, which is a very, very beautiful song, best of the beautiful message group of songs. Great performance, beautiful message, beautiful staging. As long as that all of that is delivered beautifully to Eurovision stage and translated onto it well, Slovenia, good luck. You are an A tier. Actually, I want to bring it a little bit up. Okay, next, Spain. Here the story is complicated because there was the original version and then apparently they remixed it. Um, the original version went into a very strong A tier, very close to S tier, broken by just one thing. One element moved it down from S tier. There is a moment in which I also, in the original reaction video, say that why did she need to scream there? If that bit was sung, that would be lower S tier, but an S tier song. But given what it was, it did bring it to strong A tier still. The remix put it less into epic-y direction and more into Latinish slash popish direction. I'm not sure, it doesn't make it much worse, but it is less of my cup of tea. They make up for it by removing the screamish bit, which is nice, but again, this is less my cup of tea. And so I guess what happens here is, I don't know if, I guess it may gain a little bit either wider audience or won't change the amount of audience. It just swaps audience from one to another, right? And I'm not sure how much of a win that is. This is one of the sort of cases when I am not sure if the remix merited itself. It's the sort of thing like, there's a rule in software development called don't fix what's not broken. And I think they try to fix something that's not broken other than that one single bit, fix that, and you're good. They try to do more with it. And as such, it is still an A tier song, but instead of being an upper A tier, it brings itself to be slightly lower. But it doesn't make it bad A tier song, right? It's still an A tier. Okay. Barabarabasto, the Swedish song. I have had a very hard time hiding it. I don't think I've hidden it even in this video at all. That is an S tier song. Very fun vibes. Very fun style. I will say this thing. At the end of the video, there will be more comments about who I'd vote for, right? But right now, all I say is very catchy, very fun song, very fun vibes, very interesting staging. Although, have to keep in mind, in Eurovision, you're only allowed to have, according to best of my knowledge, six people on stage at once. Next, Switzerland. Once again, sorry for mixing it for French at many points, but in the original video, but my overall opinion is that it is a song that isn't atrocious and even has some bit of drama, which does make it a bit interesting. The problem with it is the drama comes way too late and it makes it for a way too boring song overall. as I don't even get the message and those sorts of things, which brings it down to D tier. Somewhere over here, I think. Next, UK. Let me put it this way. It is close to the same direction where Australia went, where I was like, what the hell were they smoking? The difference is, at least it is not as atrocious. And as such, it is barely, but still a D tier, almost an F tier song. Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the most interesting songs of what I call the WTF category, but still belongs to another age and never quite delivers, and as such is in B tier, somewhere over here. Now, I said I wouldn't compare Latvia to any of those during the tiering. This is exactly what I've done. If I were to tier Latvia, it would have gone in the either epic or beautiful basket, although it would have, like, I think it is somewhere a mix of the two, as it is the sort of enchanting sort, is the word I describe it as. Is it the most interesting and for the most varied tastes? No, but do I believe there is taste for it for or which it is good? Yes. So my guess is I would put it somewhere in the B tier would be the appropriate position in my opinion. A, if juries really help, will they? I don't trust the juries at all. Um, Let me put it this way. If you listen to it far enough, I do think there is a point at which it does get to the enchanting bit, to which it sort of catches on, but more so in the feeling level, but it never becomes catchy in the traditional sense, right? And this is its downfall, sort of, which is why it's only somewhere in the B tier to me. Why can't I remove it? Okay, now I can't remove it, now I have to place it here. I try to put it down, but can I remove it somehow? No, I can't. Sorry. Okay, anyway. Um, Regarding this tier, the final comments on that are the way I'll probably vote. I don't remember if I think Sweden is not in the same semi-finals, Lithuania, so I don't have to be worried about that. If I'm voting for Lithuanian semi-finals. In finals, the thing is this: it will go similarly as last year. Last year I said if I like what's going on, I'll vote for this. I'll do the serious vote and I'll vote Norway. If I will hate what's going on, I'll be like, okay, I'll do the fun vote. I'll vote for the other song I loved, that being Croatia. I still think that for Norway it was the most undeserved last place in the finals that I've seen in my lifetime. Now, with that said, this year this goes similarly. If I love what's going on, if I'm doing the serious vote, I'm voting for Lithuania. If I hate what's going on and I'm like, okay, screw this, F you Eurovision, then I'm going with the other song that I enjoy and love, and that is Sweden. So either way, I'm voting for one of the two, either for Lithuania or Sweden. Very good songs, both of them. I'll be honest, I've had them on repeat since all the reactions have been done for a lot of the time, and I really do enjoy those two songs. That's my tier list. Obviously, any opinion is personal. This is my personal tier list. This is not my prediction for how it will end up in the end, right? This is just my opinion based on my tastes. So there you go. Let me know your tier lists in the comment section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Sorry if you didn't. By the time this video is released, not much of Eurovision season left, so I guess there may be reactions to what happened in the semi-finals and grand final. And unless there may be some requested reactions other than that, that will be at that point the end of the season. So I don't want to flood this channel with non-Eurovision stuff for the time being, right? So You won't see any like random trash in this on this channel, at least for the time being. Unless I'm heavily requested to do some non-Eurovision reactions, then I may do some of those. But this is the intent of this channel. For any other communication, follow my Twitch. I do stream daily or almost daily at this point. Like I fairly often. Let me put it this way: at least once per 2 days, or like at least 3 days a week. I do try to stream. Oftentimes, trying to stream even every day. So Discord for the updates on that. Twitch for the streams. Thank you very much for everyone who enjoyed it. For everyone who watched this video, to everyone who has supported me on this journey so far. I've enjoyed reading your comments, discussing them, and such stuff. So thank you very much, and have a blessed day. Good luck for now.